Good 8th day of April 2025. On a good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending your time zone. Once again today, we want to share with you the trending issues, trending news in Nigeria. So much rumor about the sack or the alleged sack of Mahmoud Yakubu, the INEC chairman. Well, the commission has come out to say that it's fake news and all of that. But there is something that is brewing. As you know, in Nigeria, there is no smoke without fire. And the fire that we are seeing happens to be that of Natasha. A second recall is brewing. INEC is initiating another round of recall on Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. Now, the report coming out from INEC has confirmed that Nigerian law, according to them, does not impose a limit on how many times a lawmaker can face a recall petition. That is coming from Rotimi Oyekami, the press secretary to Mahmoud Yakubu. Now, this statement was actually done by him while he was discussing issues on Channels Television. According to Oyekami, he says that after a failed attempt to recall Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, who obviously, as we know, represents Kogi Central Senatorial District, he says the law does not specify how many times that voters in the affected constituency. The initial recall petition, as everyone knows, against Senator Natasha fell short of this very requirement, according to INEC, with signatures not meeting the necessary threshold. Now, another group has come out, not the other people who submitted the other petition, but another group that is now led by one charity, Omole, who has submitted the petition, claiming that over 250,000 signatures from Kogi Central's 488,000 registered voters is now before the commission. Well, however, INEC found this very petition previously incomplete, as it lacked the essential contact details according to them. But there is a new initiative, whether coming from the governor of Kogi State as alleged, because the person who initiated the other one, that lady has been fired, sacked, or redeployed. Now they are using another lady again because they seem to be using ladies against her. Well, INEC's response to the petition has been a source of controversy as far as Nigerians are concerned. Some have accused INEC of bias with this, alleging that INEC was assisting these petitioners to do what they are doing and perfecting their submissions. But INEC refuted these claims. But we are here to see. All we see is that they have gone. But let's listen to this new person, the new mole, the new person that they are now using to book. And let's not forget that there is no smoke without fire. Everybody is listen.
My senator, or the senator of Kogi Central, came back home, and her people welcomed her. You would agree with me that even if you're my neighbor, there are some persons who definitely love you and be around you when you come home. And so, like we all saw, the meeting was in her compound. And we have 5 local governments in Central. And we're talking about across Ajakuta, Davi, Okene, Okehi, and Mogori. But her people or her acquaintance came to see her in her compound when she arrived. That hasn't changed my mind in any way, because what we are after at this moment and what we're discussing is good governance. And I beg to differ from what my brother was saying in the studio. You see, if we are to talk about the relative peace that Kogi Central enjoys today, the former governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahya Adoza Bello, it's a major player. And so you can't be saying that he's into disrupting the peace of the people. He's somebody who had done a whole lot. And if you look back into the history of Kogi Central as a constituent, it was when he came that our people could now sleep with their two eyes opened. And then we had activities booming back in Okene. I would beg to say that he revived Okene. And as much as we go around saying things about people, let's not always run away from their positive side and the things they have done to make our people better off today. And that is why we even have a constituency in the first place. His love for my gender is one of the reasons why we have lots of women in the Central today being part of politics. In the past times, anyone from Central knows that it's going to be very difficult for a woman to even want to vouch for councillor. But today you have lots of women that are already in politics because he brought that level ground play for us. And as we all know, it's a work in progress. Now, having to do with the issue on ground, it's something that was standing by. It's something that we believe that once the level of compliance that we need to give is made available, the process itself will continue. And I must say that kudos to INEC. INEC being a single body, being able to verify that we already have over 208,000 votes, signatures verified. It tells that, as they promised Nigerians, that it's going to be a fair and transparent process. It is already being seen. If you know, there were lots of narrative that will hardly even have up to 100,000 votes or so being verified. And today, thank God where we are. That's over 50% of what is expected that has been submitted. And I'm sure that in no distant time, we'll all be where we want to be.
Okay, Madam Musa, are you saying that with the statement from INEC putting an end to this recall process that you want to reactivate the process again?
Well, what I know very well was INEC said that it was inadequate. Doesn't mean that the process had been put on a halt. And so we are believing that once we are able to meet up with the level of compliance that they need for it to be adequate, the process will definitely take its course.
Well, some people say the crowd that turned out at the reception held in her compound to celebrate the Eid al-Fitr is an indication that the signatures for her recall were forged and did not represent the wishes of the people.
In his rest, and he's not involved in any of this at all.
Well,
okay.
To get your position on your support for Senator Natasha.
I would want to ask, are you an advocate for her?
I'm not an advocate. I'm not an advocate. I'm just playing my duty as a journalist because these are the arguments that we see on the public space. So I just want to know, because you are from her constituency, you said she's loved by her people, but here you are saying that you want her recalled because she's not representing you. You told us earlier if she comes to her people to explain why she took the decision she took, you might, reconsider your stance. But you're still insisting that you remain solidly behind what you were saying. So that's why I asked you that question.
Let me get that straight. What we discussed initially, I was making you understand that the people who voted her into office, she had never come back to say, these and these are the things that happened. And so what we know is that she's been given suspension for 6 months. And that is tentative 1 year. And that means that we're going to be out of the dividends of democracy for that period of time. And I was also making it clear then that she would have taken time to listen to her colleagues. If you look at the video then, a whole lot of which present government of the state is but a level followers would have also gotten angry from that.
Okay.
And that's why I'm trying to say that a whole lot has been done to keep Kogi Central in a place of peace, in a place of calm. which we enjoy today. And that's how our people can go back home and have a whole lot of time to spend with their people.
Now, just a quick one
I
for
heard
you.
my brother talking about the issue of someone coming home with convoy or that. Can you imagine the number of convoy or the number of appointees that we have in Kogi Central as an emergence of His Excellency, the former governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Ayadoza Bello, having to be, over a very long time, having a man from Central get to the position of governorship. You can tell how much he would have opened up the economy. It was his coming that brought about us even having beautiful houses.
Let me correct an impression. She said that INEC has already verified over 200 and something signatures. That is not what INEC said. INEC said that they have checked the signatures submitted and they have like a count of the signatures submitted. There is no way that INEC has gone to Kogi Central Senatorial Zone to actually do a verification of signatures. INEC has not even gone to Kogi State. What they have done is what was submitted to them, they did a count of those signatures, which obviously she's calling it as being verified. Those signatures has not been verified. It is going to be verified at the polling units, at the ward level, to be able to ascertain that those people are the people who actually did. So the issue of fake signatures is still out there until the verification process has been done. So I just want to correct that very impression. Notwithstanding that we're having some challenges on network issues, I just want to bring to your attention the fact that the internal crisis that is rocking the Labour Party took a dramatic turn yesterday, being Monday. At the two rival functions that we know, the one of Nenadi Usman, Senator Nenadi Usman, and one that that Abure is operating under, that is still occupying the headquarters of the Labour Party. They all summon separate meetings of National Executive Council, though that is what they call it at the function of Abure. This is signaling a deepening rift over the party's leadership and direction. Well, as we know, this move follows Friday's judgment by the Supreme Court, which many of us as observers, not seeing the certified true copy of the Supreme Court judgment, believes has emboldened the opposing camps to assert control over party structures ahead of the upcoming political alignments that is going to happen against 2027. Julius Abure on his own, we know, is an embattled chairman, a functional chairman of the party. He convened a INEC meeting, which he is expected to bring up new things. But there is threats coming out from the announcement coming out from there, and those threats are directly at P2B, and those threats that P2B, if he attends their own meeting, that he is either there is going to face a severe penalty. Now, if you think that any penalty that Abure is going to sanction P2B is going to hold any water, please go into the comment section and tell us. Now, they did a press invitation, of course, and that very press invitation was yesterday, and everybody gathered at that very event and heard him loud and clear. So we will be listening to what Abure had to say while we await the one of the OB and Otis meeting, which is tagged a town hall engagement. It is expected to bring together key stakeholders within Labour Party, including P2B, that is going to be held at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel tomorrow, April 9th. But before that date, let's hear about the threat coming out from Abure, whom everybody is saying he should vacate that very particular headquarters for Nenadi Usman's NEC meeting. But let's take a listen to how he said it And you go to the comment section, tell us what you feel. Do you think that the Labour Party rifts, this very particular issue, do you see them resolving it before this 2027? Or do you see two functions emerging, which is what the Supreme Court had emboldened by their judgment without pronouncing directly that Abure should vacate his seat, but leaving it open? Let's take a listen to what Abure said and then go to comment section. Do not hesitate to like and share. And if you're a new person, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Until then, in the evening, take a listen.
Let me acknowledge the National Secretary of the party, Deputy Chairman, and indeed all other National Executive members who are present in today's INEC meeting. Let me acknowledge our State Chairman and our secretaries who are present here today. Let me also acknowledge other invited members. I want to also acknowledge the gentlemen of the press who have been waiting for quite some time. The NEC meeting of today, no doubt, is historic. Is historic, and having got the motion for the NEC meeting to hold, I now want to put the question properly. Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. My usual manner, I like to speak without reading a script. But because of the historic nature of this gathering, of this NEC meeting, and because of the volume of what is contained in the address, I want to read my prepared address. I will subsequently have to summarize where it's necessary and then also expatiate where it's necessary. And thereafter, we will excuse the press for like 10-15 minutes for us to quickly adopt the resolution. After reading my speech, you excuse us for 5-10 minutes or 15 minutes. We quickly deliberate on the resolution. And the 7th of April, 2025. I welcome you all of the National Executive reset within the party, particularly the aftermath of the Supreme on the leadership matter, have necessitated it's imperative that we as the stewards offer clarity and reaffirm our collective resolve to uphold the sanctity of our Constitution, the unity of our structures, and the integrity of the leadership of this party. Let me begin by extending our profound appreciation to the Supreme Court of Nigeria for its courageous and principled stance in affirming the supremacy of political parties in managing their internal affairs. In his judgment concerning the Labour Party, the Apex Court unequivocally reasserted that leadership disputes arising within a political party remain within the exclusive purview of the party's constitution and governance structure. Accordingly, the court declined jurisdiction in the appeal brought by Senator Usman, thereby reinforcing the foundational principle of party supremacy and party autonomy. This judgment is not merely a legal victory for Labour Party. It is a significant affirmation of democratic tenets and a milestone for institutional development in Nigeria's political landscape. It is, however, regrettable that certain actors, most notably Senator Usman, who ironically is not a member of our party, and Delitu Kocha, have chosen to misrepresent the ruling, deliberately misleading the public and attempting to manufacture confusion through a purported caretaker committee. Let it be stated categorically that the so-called committee is both unconstitutional and illegitimate. Yes. The so-called committee, those who convened the meeting in Umuahia, lack the legal authority to do so. Yes. Neither hold the office, neither are they national chairman, nor national secretary required by our party's constitution. Permit me to provide an unambiguous account of the current status of the leadership of the party. The Labour Party held a valid national convention in 2019, whose tenure was constitutionally due to end in July 2023. In response to the extraordinary demands of the 2023 general election, our INEC meeting in Asaba in April of that year authorized a one-year extension, pushing the end of tenure to June 9, 2024. In line with this resolution and the constitution of our party, a fresh national convention was duly convened and held on March 27, 2024 in Inewi, Anambra State. All procedures, I repeat, all procedures relating to that convention were properly executed, and multiple court rulings have validated the legitimacy of that convention. Our constitution, specifically Article 12 and Article 14 of the amended 2024 edition of our constitution, as well as our constitution 2019, even our constitution of 2009, are all unanimous and clear, and clearly outlines the structure and authority of the party's organs. Article 14 vests the power to issue notices for meeting of National Convention, the INEC, and the National Working Committee in the National Secretary, but only with the consultation and approval of the National Chairman. All proper procedures were followed in convening of the March 2024 Convention, and the action taken were both constitutional and widely endorsed. let it be known across the Federation and beyond. And I repeat, let it be known within the Federation and beyond that there is no vacuum in the leadership of Labour Party. I repeat, that there is no vacuum in the leadership of Labour Party in Nigeria. Yes, sir. The National Working Committee, under our leadership, recognizes state as follows. In order to clear the misrepresentation that has been perverting the media for the past few days. Number one, the court has asserted that the supremacy of party over the internal affair and that of leadership of a political party is not for any court to decide, as it is a no-go area for the court. And so the court did not sack the NWC elected on the 27th day of March 2023. The court, 2024, the court didn't sack that leadership. The court only declined jurisdiction that issues of leadership is not the business of the courts. 2, the Apex Court did not set aside the decision of the court below